Man, this was crazy. And ironically, I was actually at work when this news actually broke. And my mind was completely blown. Because A, I didn't expect this to happen. And B, this confused the hell out of me. And I'm going to explain to you why. Now, my first thought was when I heard this trade was like, what? This makes no sense. I mean, Boston, first of all, gave up so much for one guy. I mean, I admit Kyrie Irving is a really good player, but is he worth Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and the Brooklyn pick? I don't know about that, because that was my first impression when I looked at this trade. I was confused at the fact that why would Boston give up this much? So then I looked in even deeper. I looked even deeper into the trade. But then I realized that from the perspective of the Cavaliers, they got the best possible return they could have gotten for Kyrie Irving. Honestly, the best return was this one. They got, not only did they get Kyrie Irving's replacement in Isaiah Thomas, who is almost identically the same player as Kyrie Irving. I mean, Kyrie Irving is a little bit better, but putting them side by side, they both are true scorers. They both are guys who can handle the ball. They're not really good playmakers, and they're both not really good at defense. They're basically the almost the same player. So you basically got a new Kyrie Irving, a slightly watered down, a slightly older version of Kyrie Irving, but still a really good player. You got a wing defender, a quality rotational piece in Jay Crowder to come in off your bench. And you got the Brooklyn pick for next year. In case LeBron James decides to leave, you can let LeBron go and still have a bright future with the new potential budding star that you can draft with that very high Brooklyn pick. So, from the perspective of the Cavaliers, this was probably a no-brainer. I mean, if I was the Cavs GM and I'm looking and this trade offer gets put out to me, I mean, duh, Kyrie Irving wants out. This is the best return I'm ever going to get from anybody. Now, yes, other teams could have offered better, but as far as a win-now package, this is something that just couldn't be beaten by anyone. So, from the Cavaliers' perspective, this was obviously a win. I feel the Cavs won this trade just strictly on how much the Celtics gave up for Kyrie Irving. Now, let's flip the script all over to the Celtics. Now, this is where things start getting confusing for me. Now, I understand that Isaiah Thomas is a free agent next year. And I understand that he is a player who is risky because he's demanding a max contract. And he's risky in the sense that he's 28 years old. By next year, he'll be 29. Do you really want to pay this guy on a max contract, even though he's 5'9" and has had some pretty nasty injuries? And the team hasn't really won much with him on the squad. So I see Boston's hesitant here to commit long-term to Isaiah Thomas. However, what I don't understand is if you're trading Thomas, why would you trade Thomas for the same or almost a similar player to Thomas? You're basically trading Isaiah Thomas for a slightly better version than Isaiah Thomas, which is what I don't understand here. And, because then I don't see the point. What was the point of trading away Isaiah Thomas if you're just getting the same player? That's my confusion here. Yes, if you traded Isaiah Thomas and gotten a better player, let's say you traded Isaiah Thomas for John Wall, then I would actually be applauding the Celtics, saying that yes, that was worth the move because you're getting a better overall player than Isaiah Thomas. You're getting an upgrade. But if you're just keeping the same player, what benefit are you making for the team? You're giving up all these assets, but you're getting almost the same player in return. So from that point of view, it didn't make sense to me. Now, what also didn't make sense to me was, again, the amount that the Celtics gave up for just Kyrie Irving. If the Celtics got a few more players in this deal, then I would have been a little bit more understanding of this move, because then it looks fair. It says, okay, fine, the the Celtics are giving up Isaiah Thomas, a superstar, and they're giving up a quality rotational piece in Jay Crowder. And then the Cavaliers are going to be giving up Kyrie Irving, a superstar, and then maybe like an Iman Shumpert or someone, like a solid rotational piece. Then that looks fair. It looks like a fair deal. It looks like both sides got exactly what they wanted. But in this case, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like the Cavaliers, like the Celtics got a good deal. I honestly feel that this was a terrible trade. I think any one of my trades that I put in last week's episode would have been better for everybody. Would have been better than any of these trades because it was fair. Each side was getting everything they wanted in any of my trades. But in this case, only the Cavaliers are getting exactly what they want, and the Celtics are getting, Kyrie Irving. Now, yeah, Kyrie Irving is nice and all, but do you really think Kyrie Irving is worth everything that you gave up? That is the point that's still confusing me. So I'm still on the fence about this, man. I honestly don't get it yet. I haven't. These are just my thoughts, man. These aren't formulated in any particular order. I'm just spitting out what's coming into my head. And honestly, I'm still confused. I'm confused as to why the Celtics did this. I'm not confused on what the Cavaliers are doing. I understand what the Cavaliers did because this is a no-brainer. If the Celtics offered you this for Kyrie Irving, I would take this trade. But the Celtics is where I'm confused about. Now, why would you do this? Why would you trade all these assets for Kyrie Irving? I don't get that. But we'll see what happens with the Celtics. I hope it can all work out for the Celtics, but we'll see what happens. But one more thing I want to bring up about the Cavaliers. Now, this is a big one because, sure, now that Kyrie Irving's traded, we need to flip it to LeBron's future. The future of the Cavaliers with LeBron James. Now, according to most people, LeBron James is gone. After next season, he's planning on leaving and going to another team. Maybe the Lakers, maybe the Knicks. We don't honestly know right now what LeBron's going to do. Now, me personally, I honestly feel that LeBron will only leave based on the outcome of this upcoming season. If this upcoming season is just absolutely terrible and they lose to Golden State again, I see LeBron leaving. There is honestly no sense in LeBron staying with a squad who honestly is too old and just can't compete at the level that LeBron wants to compete at. So if the season goes bad, I see LeBron leaving. But if the season goes great, and let's say Isaiah Thomas fits nicely with LeBron James, Jay Crowder becomes a great rotational piece, and with reports Dwyane Wade potentially signed with the Cavaliers, I think LeBron has a lot of incentives to stay, but it all depends. However, this trade is honestly a really good move for the Cavaliers in case the worst is to come, because let's think about it this way: Isaiah Thomas is only contracted for 1 year, and so is LeBron James. So in the case that LeBron leaves, the Cavs aren't bounded with Isaiah Thomas. They're not stuck with Isaiah. They can choose not to give Isaiah Thomas a max contract and move on. If LeBron leaves, they can say, well, Isaiah can leave too. So they can start a fresh rebuild. And then, along with that, they also got a great rotational piece in Jay Crowder, who's still there. He's on a very affordable, team-friendly deal. And the best part is they got the Nets pick. So in case they lose LeBron, they're not bounded to pay Isaiah Thomas. And they also have a draft pick that can draft a potential superstar, which could help jumpstart their rebuild. So honestly, right now, this has been the best trade for any team trading away a superstar. This has been the best return that anybody has. Like, think about it. Jimmy Butler and Paul George didn't even get half of this return that the Cavaliers got. The Cavaliers not only got a great short-term solution, but they also have a great long-term solution should things go south for them next offseason if LeBron leaves. So overall, man, this is a very confusing trade. On one hand, it's very imbalanced, and I feel that it was a bad trade for the Celtics to make. But on the other hand, I feel that for the Cavaliers, they got everything they wanted. They were able to get rid of Irving. They got a quality return for Irving, and they got some future security in the case of LeBron James leaves next summer. So overall, man, this is a very confusing trade. I'm still not fully clear about it, but I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see what Isaiah Thomas can do in the Cavaliers. I'm excited to see with LeBron and what he's gonna think about this. And I'm also gonna be excited about see what Kyrie Irving can now do, because he now has to prove himself. Now that he's traded, it's time to back up the talk. If Kyrie wants to lead a team, this is your chance to lead a team. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited, but this was mind-boggling to hear about.